Hey everyone, welcome back to a pickup video here. I've tried this about 4 times now, and every time I get tired of hearing myself talking. So despite the fact that I have a nice pile here, I will try to keep this as short as possible. Quite a bit here, that's because it was my birthday, so I got some stuff in from some friends, my brother, in-laws. Although one set sent me a tree, that kind of feels like work because I have to plant it now. Um, my parents, etc. Also got a bunch of credit on Amazon from work again, which I'm really grateful to that one guy who can't seem to budget his time or resources. They finished an expansion and suddenly needed a bunch more stuff, and I look like a hero, and I get a bunch of free money basically. Uh, One thing I wanted to show real quick is Retro Protection on eBay. They have an online store, and I found out that they don't carry everything on eBay they do on their online store. So if you need a plastic case for Fire Emblem, they have those there. And if you need cases for Lunar 2, or Arc the Lad collection. The Arc the Lad one's a little, it's for Lunar 2, so Arc the Lad's not 100% fit, but it's close enough. So definitely head there and check that out. On eBay, just type in Retro Protection. His name's Dan Godkin, and the website I think is just retroprotection.com. I got these two in the other day and really happy with them. That's where I buy all my stuff for cardboard games, Saturn, and whatnot. Yesterday, a friend dropped by and gave me 2 gifts, which I was really surprised with. I wasn't expecting this. The first up is a pillow of the puzzle box from Hellraiser. And the other one, which is an even bigger surprise, is a They Live theme pillow. So these are going to stay here in the den and go on the recliners. Thanks a lot, buddy. My wife gave me this awesome Morley mug. If you watch the X-Files, that's the brand of cigarettes that's always in the cigarette smoking man smokes, and that's just their go-to generic brand. And that's filled with water because it is boiling hot back here. Now, I did get quite a few books, but they're already put up. I was going to put up a book video sooner, but I was finishing this bad boy. Now that I'm done with that, I've got 2 more I'm about to finish. So at the end of June, I'll put up a book video for everything I've read the first half of the year. Last episode, someone was disappointed I didn't have any books, so I do have 2 to show. From the citations in that book, and there are 80 pages of notes and 40 of just citations, I grabbed The Christians as the Romans Saw Them, which covers 3 or 4 pagan thinkers and the early critiques of Christianity and how those critiques were responded to. So you get a bit of a background on Pliny, Celsus, Julian the Apostate, and what their thoughts were. It's pretty interesting so far. It's not too big either. That was $1 on Amazon with like $3.99 shipping. This was $2, a few bucks shipping. Famine and food supply in the Greco-Roman world, response to risk and crisis. I really wanted to learn about the Roman Annona system more because that's mentioned in the first book I showed, and they had a used copy of this really cheap. It is marked up. The back isn't. The front has some notes in the margins, which I don't really mind as long as they tell you that. And like I said, it was like $2. From my parents, I got Lady Snowblood Collection, the Criterion release. And they also gave me a John Norwich book. I found a really cheap used copy of it they got for me, which it's his 2 books on the Norman conquest of Sicily. And they got me one more book. I forgot the name of it, but it was another used one that I had found cheap. Another item my wife got me is the Brass Eye Special Collection. Well, it's the series and special. Thing is, I've had a bootleg of this for about 15 years that a friend gave me that he never asked for it back, and I forgot to give it back to him, and it's still up there, and I'm thinking I might just randomly mail it to him, see what he says. I picked up A Boy and His Dog with my Amazon credit. I've seen this before, but my wife hadn't, and I didn't know where to stream it, so I just went ahead and grabbed it because it was like $16. It's the DVD and Blu-ray. Now, initially, I hadn't planned on getting too many things. I was going to stick to mid-tier and high-end items. That way I could still grab titles I've been wanting, and it would take up less space. So from Steve, I grabbed Winds of Thunder, known as Lords of Thunder. This is the import. That's just a spine card there. A really great shooter. I have the Sega CD version of it. The US uh, Turbo Duo version is really expensive. The import's much, much cheaper. Although for some reason, I just saw an auction of this go for over $100, and I don't know why. If they had looked around, they're all over the place for 50 to 80. I have no clue why someone would do that. I guess they just got caught up in the auction, which I've seen that happen before. I think I've been a victim of that myself once or twice. Yeah, like I said, really, really fun shooter. Glad I have this on the Duo. I picked up Twinkle Star from them. I forgot the full name of it. I have a few Twinkle Star games. If you haven't tried these, they just released one on Steam. It didn't get overly positive reviews. I think it's mixed at this point, but it's a fun series. So I'm not sure what the PC problem is. Might just be inputs or something. But I've got one of these on Dreamcast. I think one on Saturn and or an earlier one, and this one from ADK. You might know them as Aggressors of Dark Combat. I want to say they developed that. A bunch of stuff for Neo Geo. Some miscellaneous eBay grabs. I saw this for $20. Boss and Burf had reviewed it. Psychuki Journey West. I thought it looked really fun. For some reason, though, this was going cheaper than the rest. The others were single jewel case, so I'm wondering if those were either rare or people just prefer it because it takes less space, because it is only a single disc game. But really looking forward to trying that out. His review's good. If I can think to do it, I'm going to link it. Really got me pumped to play it. This was $10, and I'm surprised I had never grabbed it. It's the Sega Classics collection for Sega CD. I got the second version, which just came with Sewer Shark, which compared to this is why they did that. I mean, you get Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, and Golden Axe on this. The flip side is a Sherlock Holmes game. Ooh, landed on another game. And yet I got Sewer Shark. If you've played Sewer Shark, that is not a fair trade. I believe this has a manual, which mine didn't come with, but that's fine. This was $7, Xenosaga. I've been wanting to try this series. The second one is like a mid-price game. The third one is expensive. I was bidding on one of these for $13, and then when it went above that, I stopped and found this one for, I think, $7 or $7.99. I emailed the guy asking if anything was wrong with it, because I really wasn't sure why no one bought it. He said, no, everything's fine. He wasn't sure why either, and he was right. There's nothing wrong with it. So I finally get to try this series. I was always reluctant because since it's a three-parter, I didn't know if I wanted to put that kind of time into it. But these days, I'm much more willing to play one and let time pass before I play another one. Before, I'd want to play all three back-to-back, like I do with the Neverwinter Nights. I played 1, 2, and the expansions to 2. It took up a lot of time. This was a recommendation from Derek H., who will come up again in a second. Tokobot Plus. This looked like a fun little action title. Action platformer. Came out in 2000... What is this? 5, I guess, something around 5. I can't find the exact... 2006. A guy on eBay has these. I think he still has them. He had plenty when I bought this one. It was like $7.99 free shipping. And if Derek H. recommends it, I'm going to check it out. Some more miscellaneous. And speaking of Derek H., he just put up a PSA video of a sale going on at Best Buy. So I went and I grabbed Until Dawn and Bloodborne. They were $14.99 each. The sale is ongoing today on Saturday. I'll upload this, so if anyone sees it, definitely check it out. My store did not have any of The Last of Us remastered. I did want to grab that since I've never played the DLC, but more than happy with these two. I'm saving Until Dawn until Halloween. It'll be one of the games I play during the month. Bloodborne, I was never too interested in it, despite being a big fan of Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Something about I don't know why, I don't like that style of it, the art style. The combination of long range and close range like that. But everyone loves this game, so I got to give it a shot. I've been loving Dark Souls 3, so just more of here. I know they don't play quite the same, but, you know, more of that From Software action RPG in a gothic setting. Can't go wrong with that. Some more Amazon goodies. Again, thank you, work. Is Project X Zone or Cross Zone 2. This got down to, I think, $16, $17. I've heard it's less repetitive than the first, and that was my main complaint about it. Plus, it's got the Sega mascot, Segata Shinshiro. I think that's it. I'm hearing the theme song in my head. He's a special character in it. Let me see if he's on the front. Oh, they didn't put him on the front. That's a shame. But you see Shenmue represented, Sakura Wars represented, a bunch of Sega characters in here that, like I said, I liked the first one, found a little repetitive, but I heard that one fixed it. I think everyone bought this on some platform. Mega Man, I know it went down to 13 to 14 on 3DS. I think this one was 15 for PS4. Haven't cracked it open yet, obviously. I still have the Xbox original one. I attempt off and on, but for the price, I know I'm going to get an urge to play Mega Man. So, and this got down to 17, but when Crack checked it, it had popped back up. Arslan, the Warriors of Legend. This is a Dynasty Warriors type game, but the graphics are really, really nice. Let me see if I can zoom up on that. I noticed last video I said really a lot. I've said it a few times this much. It's one of those things where you're in a rush to make a video, you will start repeating things, and whatever is handy in mind, you're going to go to it. So if it's like the same number, the same phrase, something, got to stop doing that. But it's already at 11 minutes. I feel like I'm falling behind. I would like to talk about these some more, but I will tell you what I've been playing after this one. A big thanks to Crack on this. Infinite Space from Platinum Games, where you command a starship and its crew. This one was really hard to find. The story was I initially found it for $20 at a GameStop years back. Thought, if GameStop's selling for $20, it must be much cheaper. Actually, it was $50. And then Lobosu77, being the gentleman that he is, offered me a copy. I think it was a PAL one, so I said no thanks. And then it went up even higher, and I thought I would never get to play it because I wasn't going to pay, $80 plus for the game. But Video Game Plus out of Canada did a reprint. So, been wanting this one for years. I read Platinum Games' Ninja Turtle game isn't that great. So, if that harkens to like a future where they're not as good as they used to be, this is in the earlier days when they were still top of the game. Although I think Ninja Turtles might be a fluke. I'm really looking forward to Nier, and so I'm holding out that it was just maybe a rush job, and I'm just pushing that thought out of my mind that maybe people left the company or something. It's not quite as good as they were. That's just one release, but I'm paranoid about Nier. Let's see here. Now, I did get some. This is another Amazon. Soul Sacrifice. Got to save on that memory card space because that went down to about 16 as well. Like I say, Amazon has been having these great deals. I did get 2 free run, limited run games titles. Oddworld, which was released on PS Plus, so I'm just going to play it on that. And Futorium, which looks okay. Saturday RPG didn't get as high reviews as I was hoping, so I think I might cool out on the limited run game stuff for a while. At this point, especially Futorium, I was more interested just because it was limited, and I don't like that mindset, so I got to get myself out of that. But then, of course, you're paranoid that the game comes out and it's awesome and you missed your chance. The life of people who enjoy games. It's so tough, isn't it? I have 2 piles left. One's a McFly one, and one's from importers. I will go with the import one first. Now, I originally purchased Doom. This was a really good price. The only copies on eBay complete. This has the spine card, go for 60 plus. This was less than 30, and it was in much better shape than the picture showed, and it has spine card. Now, I wanted this one because it includes the link mode that was removed from the US version. And even though I don't have 2 copies of this, what I really wanted it for is I've read they optimized the engine so the game performs better. And if you played Doom on the Saturn, it performs really poorly. So this is going to be one of the few chances I was going to get to grab this. Really happy I got it. And it's one of those companies where you get weeks to pay them. And so, of course, I ordered more stuff. This was a Bake Breaking 125. This is actually Earth Defense Force. I got to say, though, the engine has a really, really hard time with this. It creaks. And because I got an Earth Defense Force for $360 not too long ago off Amazon, if someone can play imports, I'll probably be giving this away. I mean, it's worth a try for $1. I'll give it that. It's an admirable attempt at that kind of game on the PlayStation 2. But yeah, it's poor thing it tries. Now, this might have been a mistake, but I couldn't help myself. Age of Empires 2, this was less than $5. Now, I bought Castles 2 for the Super Famicom thinking I've played it a ton on PC. Obviously, I'll do great at this. And I could not navigate the menus. I can't work out how to do resource management because none of the buttons seem to go to the final OK screen. So I have a feeling once I'll play this one, I'll be just as lost, and I'll wonder how I'm so lost in a game I played so much, because this is one of my favorite PC games. I still play it today. But how could you not want to try it? The PlayStation 2 uses USB. You can use a USB mouse with the PlayStation 2, so it can't be that bad, right? Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's a console version of Age of Empires 2. I've been waiting my whole life to see that. This was sealed, which I didn't know because it was about $7, and that's Dark Seed for the Saturn. I've been wanting to try PC adventure games that have been ported to console. Like on 3DO, there's Hell. I really want to try that one. I wanted to try Dark Seed. I think Dark Seed 2's on here. I recently got Beavis and Butthead for the PlayStation. But it's sealed. I didn't know, so now I'm kind of tempted to keep it minty. But I'll crack it open at some point. I do have this for PC, and it is fun. This was $5. It's Street Fighter 03. Now, I got this for PlayStation because it has full Pocket Station support, and I read the US version doesn't. You should all know my love of the Street Fighter Alpha universe by now. This came in really good shape. Of course, the Saturn version is the one to get, and that's why this one is so cheap. But you know what? If you need your Street Fighter Alpha 3 fix, it'll make do. But yeah, I've got a Pocket Station a little while back. Oh, you can actually see a picture of it right there. And I haven't had a chance to try it with too many games. And I've read conflicting reports of the US version of this and its compatibility with it. But import's supposed to be pretty nice little implementation. This was like $3 because it doesn't come with a spine card. It's Samurai Showdown RPG. I now have this on every console. PlayStation, Neo Geo CD, and Saturn. And that's because numerous attempts have been made and are ongoing to translate this. I will play this damn game no matter what they put it on. I promise you that. This I didn't really... I guess I forgot it existed, but this is Virtua Fighter for the Game Gear. I would like a Retro Freak whenever they release the Game Gear adapter, but it's got little cutscenes. Look at that. Look how cute that is. Little Virtua Fighter cutscenes. Probably plays like garbage, but it's complete. It's got a nice fold out with a bunch of Game Gear ads, which I wasn't expecting. And come on, look at that. And lastly, from the import seller, super pumped about this, Tokyo Jungle. I have the PSN version of this, of course, but I also have the triple pack where I think it came with Journey and Flower. I wanted the standalone one, though, because look at that little Pomeranian badass. This game is a lot of fun. If you've never played it, you can take over an animal in a Tokyo that's been overrun with flora and fauna, and you have to kind of live out its life cycle. You can be a little Pomeranian there. I think that's the default one you start off as. You can be like hound dogs, I think. There's bears. It should still be pretty cheap on PSN, so definitely check that one out. And for McFly, initially I saw this bad boy, Mega Bomberman, which is in pretty good shape. He was saying it might not be in as good a shape as I was hoping, but these cardboard things just never hold up well. Sega. So yeah, I mean, good enough shape for me. It's like $27 complete. The manual's completely mint. The cart's mint. It's just the little cardboard here. And a company sells these replacements, inserts right here, these red cardboard ones. They sell 10 for like $14 on eBay. This looked like a little action dungeon crawler, kind of. The Nightmare of Draga. It was $8. I checked out a few videos. It looked like a lot of fun, and it was complete in great shape. $3. This is Flag to Flag, which I've read is kind of middling, but it's a Sega Racer for the Dreamcast. This is one I've been wanting to play fully. I rented it back then, but I didn't get too far. Crackdown for $4 complete. I always find it in beat up shape. So, of course, McFly's is in great shape. McFly's 8-Bit Avenue, your go-to source for gaming on the internet. And for less than $20, he helped me fill out my Armored Core collection. You're looking at Armored Core 2, Armored Core 2 Another Age, and Armored Core 3. $5 and 2 for $6.50, all complete. It's one of those things where I beat the first one, I beat the fourth one, I played some of the fifth one, and I've wanted these off and on, but didn't want to put down the price because they're normally way more than this. But McFly said, hey, I've got good deals if you've got cash. So once again, thank you, McFly. McFly's 8-Bit Avenue, your go-to source online for video games. I'll put a link down below. 19 minutes. I'm going to make it under 20. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I will talk to you later.